Welcome back to another episode of Another Pokémon Podcast. My name is Galutrad.
And my name is Becs.
And today we are talking about our favorite water type Pokemon.
What are those?
I keep trying to think of a pun for like water kind of Pokemon are you? But it doesn't flow well because what in water are two different syllables.
What are those?
Water those. Yeah. Bex, how are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good. I am glad to have we just had a long weekend.
Yeah, some of us did.
Or I did. Yeah, I had a long weekend at work.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been playing a lot of games or doing much other than reading. I've been reading a lot because I'm trying to finish a book challenge for the year.
Yep.
And watching a lot of spooky movies. Despite the fact that it is sort of past spooky season, I am watching spooky movies still.
Well, you got into, normally you kick off Halloween with like, this is my list of 31 spooky movies that I'm going to watch this year. And this year we were like midway through October and you like kind of just, I think we were driving and you just randomly were like, I haven't watched any spooky movies this year.
Yeah, no, I really haven't. I have been making up for lost time, I guess. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of spooky movies. I just bought a new bookshelf, so I've been building that slowly over the last few days. But yeah, how about you?
I've been good. I got through with my 24-hour Mario and Luigi brothership stream, which went really well. I have been getting really into the Pokemon TCG. Mm-hmm. Like many people, Pokemon TCG Pocket came out.
Oh yeah, I guess we've both been.
We got into that. And then that made me, that combined with a previous interaction that you and I had where you had mentioned like, oh, maybe I want to get into a trading card game of some sort. And I jumped all over that and was like, yes, let's do it. And so I've been getting really into the Pokemon TCG, the actual like non-pocket version of the game. But other than that, not really a whole lot going on for me either. It really feels like the past like couple weeks have just been a blur because we've been insanely busy. Like every single day we've had something going on or multiple things.
Yeah, we've been very busy until like probably for me like today. It was the first day I haven't really had much to do other than record. But yeah, no, we've both been really into the phone game, the TCG phone game. I just opened some booster packs right before we started recording.
Yeah.
So they're pretty cool. I have been enjoying collecting virtual Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and if any of you listeners are interested in adding us on Pokemon TCG Pocket, we did make a post on our socials about the fact that we were getting into the game, and it shared our friend codes on there. So feel free to reach out and add us.
Yep.
Hope everyone else out there is enjoying it. In regards to that, we do have our favorite thing about the show, some listener feedback.
Yeah.
So Bex, if you want to read the first couple and I'll end it.
Yeah, sure. I will get us started. So over on Instagram, we got a message from a user, this guy Nick, and this guy Nick said, "Thanks for the follow! ! Just found your show last week and listened to every episode! Awesome podcast! !
Yeah, I'm trying to follow. Admittedly, I'm a little slow to get around to it, just because I've got so much going on in my day to day. But I am trying to follow anyone who follows us. To continue building it up, building the community up and stuff. So shout out to this guy Nick for following, and there's a couple others as well. But Nick reached out and messaged us, so that's awesome. I had replied to your message, Nick, but we're really glad you're enjoying the show.
Yeah,
I hope many of you out there are also enjoying the show, and feel free to message us at any of our socials, just like Nick did, and we love talking to y'all. Yeah. So thank you so much.
And then over on Spotify, under the True Crime and Pokemon episode, we got a comment from a user, Quinn. And Quinn said, "Sent here by Another Zelda Podcast. Love the episode. Red heart, white heart emoji. Here's an idea for the future. A Pokedex quiz which, Quinn, we got so excited
when
we read this comment.
Yeah.
And we will definitely do this, I think, and we'll definitely give you credit when we do, because that's a great idea. A Pokedex quiz, and Quinn elaborates. Quinn says, take Dex entry from anywhere across the series and provide 4 possible Pokemon as answers. See which of you can be crowned as the professor.
Yeah. I love that idea. A little bit behind the scenes, Quinn, when we were originally like talking about what this show would be, we had some ideas to have like a feature Pokemon every episode, and just decided that was a little bit too much. I mean, y'all see how long the episodes get with us just talking about the episode topic. So adding in more stuff seemed a little bit out of hand, but I love this Pokemon quiz idea. I think it'd be even more fun to get the viewers involved, and I'd love to have y'all guess, and then maybe we can share like best or correct answers, not best, they're just the correct answers, the people who guessed correctly on the week episode after that.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
So thank you so much for your comment.
Over on X, Shauna Jessica said, at Rebellity, grateful for our friendship. Thank you, hands emoji, red heart emoji. This episode was so different and you got the choices spot on. Cyrus is a twisted dude. I remember getting stuck in the distortion world because I couldn't beat Cynthia and refused to repeat that area again. Laughing, crying face. I've never caught Giratina, and it's got a face palm emoji. Yeah, Shauna Jessica, I don't blame you, because number one, Cynthia is a tough cookie.
Incredibly hard.
Yeah.
I think notably the hardest trainer battle. Just battle in the games.
When I was playing through Brilliant Diamond, I noticed that a lot of the gym leaders were tougher than like the level that I was at, where I feel like in past games, like I tend to over level and I can breeze through, but it was harder. I felt like it was hard to level up in Gen 4 and Gen 5.
Generation 5, definitely. It is, because that is an actual mechanic that got changed, where the higher your level is over the Pokemon that you're battling, the less XP that you get. Gen 4, the ramp up in difficulty from the 8th gym leader to battling the Elite 4 is insane.
Yeah, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember if I beat the Elite 4 in Brilliant Diamond. I know that I beat the last gym leader when I was sick and I was playing it, because I played through like the whole game almost in like 1 or 2 days. I can't remember the Elite Four for some reason in my head. I feel like I did beat it though, because I think I texted you when I did beat it.
Maybe that was a while ago.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you, Shauna Jessica. We appreciate the comment. I think I didn't note it here, but I think that was for our true crime episode as well.
Yeah, when we were talking about how
crazy Cyrus was.
Yeah, he is the worst of the worst from generations 1 through 5. Yeah, 5. We did 5. 5.
Yeah. We appreciate it though. I love that we're getting so much engagement on that true crime episode. I feel like that was a really fun one to do. Yeah. I really loved that one.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun just sitting. I didn't have to do any research for that episode. It was great. I just came in with like the knowledge that I had, and then was like, yep, okay, cool. And it was awesome.
Yep.
Speaking of true crime in Pokemon, we got a comment on our true crime in Pokemon episode on Spotify. This one is from Minecraft Guy. It says, "Hey Unk," which we were reading this and I realized this is actually my nephew.
Oh, yay! Yeah.
So you know who you are. I'm not gonna say your name just because I want to keep like privacy and stuff. But shout out to you. Love you, bud. Glad we got to see you when we came down to Texas recently. But Minecraft Guy said, "Hey Unk, I've been binge listening to your podcast and it has been very fun and made me laugh a lot. You deserve a lot of more fans and will probably be at your next stream."
Aww.
And that just makes my heart glow.
Yeah, it's so
I'm
cute.
a cool uncle.
You are a cool uncle.
Yeah.
Honestly, we are both very cool aunts and uncles.
We are.
Yeah. You definitely, I know your nephews really.
I get calls every now and then where they're like, my brother or my sister, like, "Hey, We got a Nintendo question.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, exactly. And then I don't have any biological nieces or nephews, but two of my best friends have kids, and those are my nieces and nephews, and they adore both of us. One of my nephews is just like, no, you guys like video games. We are best friends.
So thank you so much, Minecraft Guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your comment. And we have a ton of comments over on Spotify. That is awesome. So thank you so much to everybody who's been leaving comments on Spotify. Our last comment for tonight, though, for this episode, is back over on X. This is from Vanover Crossing, and this is also on the True Crime in Pokemon episode.
But
so that's kind of
my
nuts.
expense.
It is. Vanover Crossing says, Professor Egbert and more coverage on Pokemon Coliseum. Top tier episode, guys.
I'm sorry, Sonic fans.
Professor Egbert.
So I just want to say,
just before you say anything, none of that is right. He's not Professor Eggman. The only part about that's right is egg.
I just want to say, I have played some of the Sonic games, but it was back in like the 2D era. Mm-hmm. I've also seen the movies. I have no excuse for not knowing the name other than...
It would have been more accurate if you had just been like Jim Carrey.
Yeah. When Jim Carrey, you remember Jim Carrey.
Yeah, in the Pokemon
Coliseum. Yeah.
Yeah, so Vanover, thank you so much. I love that other people... Listen, I got decimated in the polls of Victory Bell versus Vileplume. So I gotta take every win that I can. So
I definitely I just make stuff up sometimes, and that's gonna happen again. I promise. There will be more for you guys to pick on me for.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has been leaving listener feedback and comments and messaging us. We love hearing from you guys, like we always say. So thank you. It has been an absolute pleasure to hear from all of y'all and to see this community grow. So I love that. And if you want to leave feedback or message us, you can reach out to us on any of our socials. We are on X, TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads at Another PKMN Pod. You can also leave a comment on our website, anotherpokemonpodcast.com, at each of the episodes.
And then what really helps us out is those 5-star reviews. So if you haven't already and you do enjoy listening to us, please go over to Podcast, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify or wherever and leave a 5-star review. That really helps our channel out. Unless you hate us, then don't leave a review.
Yeah, and remember, the written reviews we'll read on listener feedback, so you'll get to hear your name and everything, and we love it.
Yep.
So thank you so much for sharing the love. And we are going to talk about...
We're going to dive in.
Oh, God. See, we're
going to make a splash today.
This is why you're my favorite person. We are going to talk about our favorite water type Pokemon now. So as always... I've got a little bit of fun info for you about water type Pokemon.
Okay, perfect.
Water type Pokemon, the final of the 3 starter types that we are getting around to covering.
Excuse me, Pikachu is a starter Pokemon.
You're right, and I can't argue with it.
We have one more. What do you mean?
Well, Eevee is also a starter Pokemon.
And so is, what was it in the Pokemon Masters board game? Jigglypuff and Meowth.
Oh, yeah. Jigglypuff and Meowth. So basically every type.
Yeah.
No, so of the mainline games that aren't weird remakes like Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Yellow, which wasn't a remake, but still. Water is the last of the trilogy. Grass, Fire, and Water makes the easy to explain triangle for any new RPG fans of how types match up against each other. We love that. Water is also the most common type in Pokemon with over 150. There's 176 different water type Pokemon to be exact.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that does include, I believe, Mega Evolution Pokemon and different like variant forms and things like that.
On like Cerebi or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Obviously, water type, they're based on fish, aquatic mammals, just any type of sea-related creature, water-related creatures.
Sometimes they're buffalo.
Sometimes they're rocks, like barnacle, although I guess barnacles are actually...
that's a barnacle.
Yeah, that's an animal. Isn't it? Is a barnacle classified as an animal?
I think it's a
plant.
living being,
a living
I think.
organism. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, all water related bases. Water deals double damage to fire, ground, and rock, and it is resisted by water, grass, and dragon. Water resists fire, water, ice, which I thought was kind of a weird one. You wouldn't think that. I feel like ice should resist water, not water resisting becoming ice. And steel is the fourth type that water resists.
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry. You have broken my brain. Water resists ice.
Yeah,
like it's
ice deals half damage to water.
I guess because if you throw some ice in some water, it's still water.
I guess so. That kind of makes sense.
Also, in case anyone else wants to know, barnacle is an animal. It's a crustacean.
Oh, well,
it's an invertebrate.
The more you know. Look at that. Not only do we teach you about Pokemon, but we teach you about the animal kingdom.
Welcome back to another biology podcast.
So water is resistant to fire, water, ice, and steel, and it is weak to electric and grass.
Yeah.
It's a decently defensive while putting out some good offensive as well. The fact that it's good against ground and rock is huge because there's a lot of really great ground and rock type Pokemon. In generations 1 through 3, so before the generation 4 special and physical attack split, all water type moves were special type attacks. As of generation 6, water, along with psychic, flying, and dark, has been paired with every other type. So like I said, there are 176 water type Pokemon. 81 of them are singular water type Pokemon, making the other 95 dual types. Mm-hmm. And there are 53 water type moves. Water type moves have their power increased by 50% when in the rain and decreased by 50% during harsh sunlight. There's also, if you have Primal Groudon on your team, Primal Groudon has an ability called Desolate Land, which actually negates all effects of water-type Pokemon.
Oh, that's weird.
Water-type moves, I should say, not Pokemon. Notable water-type trainers and Elite Four members include, obviously, Misty of the Cerulean City Gym.
You can't see it. You can't see it, trainers, but I am dancing because I love Misty.
You do. You are an Ash Misty stan. There's also, this was so funny to me. I know this, but like just seeing it written out was wild. In Generation 3, there's Wallace, the Sutopolis City Gym Leader. Also in Generation 3, there's Juan, the Sutopolis City Gym Leader.
Oh, yeah.
Also in Generation 3, there's Wallace, the Pokemon League champion. Crasher Wake from Generation 4 of the Pastoria City Gym. Generation 5 has Cress at the Striaton City Gym. Mm-hmm. Also in Generation 5, there's Marlin of the Humalau City Gym. Mm-hmm. In Generation 6, there's Siebold of the Elite Four. In Generation 8, there's Nessa, my girl, from Holbury. And then in Generation 9, there's Kofu, which is he's like a chef.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's got a goofy mustache. He's cool. Yeah, he's a good one.
That's the town with the giant waterfall in it, right?
Yeah, that's Cascarafa City. I always have a hard time saying that name. But yeah, so that's just some fun notes for you about water types.
I do have a question, and if you don't know the answer, that's okay.
Okay.
I was wondering, why can most water Pokemon learn ice moves? Is it kind of like how a lot of psychic Pokemon can learn dark moves? Is it just something that makes sense?
Yeah,
type-wise?
That's what I would think would be that they just kind of naturally...
Or a lot of ghost Pokemon can learn psychic moves?
Yeah, they can just kind of naturally shift. I would assume that if you have control over water, that means you also have control over the state of water. So since water can become ice, and also there's a lot of like steam-based moves as well. Yeah, in fact, one of my favorite water type moves is a steam based move, and that's cool. Actually the reason it's one of my favorites is because it has an interesting effect for a water move.
I was thinking too, because I was just thinking about, obviously all the water Pokemon that I have seen over the years for this episode, and I remember like a lot of the water Pokemon that I used in earlier generations knew like Aurora Beam and Ice Beam and Mist. and stuff like that. And I was like, that's interesting. I wonder if it's kind of just it makes sense because of the types of Pokemon that those are. Like if you think about Dugong, it's a seal.
Yeah.
Seals are water. They live in the water, but it's in colder areas normally. So like they made that a water ice Pokemon.
Yes,
like so I wonder if it's like stuff like that. But then I also noticed there are a lot of just water, no dual typing Pokemon, but they often know ice moves.
Yeah.
In like their makeup.
I think
on like Stadium and other games like that.
For a like canonical reason within the games, it's probably because they have control over water, so they can control the type of water or the
ice benders.
The ice benders.
Yeah.
I think for game mechanic reasons, it's just to give them more
options
moves,
or something.
Options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't there with a few exceptions, you don't see most water type Pokemon walking around with like grass type moves or fire type moves. And there are a couple
it's like
exceptions.
A dual typing type thing.
Yeah. So with those fun little water facts out of the way, surprisingly there's a lot more, but it's all based off of like moves and abilities and things like that. There's not really like I'd mentioned in fire, like how fire Pokemon can't be affected by burn. There's not really a whole lot of that for water type Pokemon. And it's often their abilities against water type Pokemon, like a Storm Drain ability makes it so that all water moves get sucked into a drain, basically, and become null and void. So there's not a whole lot going on there.
Some weird imagery there.
But I would love to hear, because we're ranking our top, this is technically a top 10. We each brought 5 to the table, as always. So I would love to hear your number 5.
Oh, we're starting?
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless you've got something to say.
No, I don't have anything to say. No, please don't ask me for facts.
I will note for y'all listeners, if you remember, we've yet to have the same Pokemon on our lists.
Yeah, we came close with fire because I had Vulpix and you had
Ninetales.
Yeah,
I'm interested to know. It'd be really funny if water is where we cross paths because of the fact that there are so many water type Pokemon.
Yeah,
water also happens to be your favorite typing.
Well, I think we're going to find out what my favorite typing is as we do these, because with no intention to spoil, I do notice that I have not enjoyed newer generations of water Pokemon as much as older generations tend to. There's definitely like gems throughout.
Oh, there's definitely gems.
There's definitely gems throughout, but I think
that was a gem joke for y'all. Pokemon battles.
Terrible. But I think that I just notice what I prefer is not newer ones. So I think that if I lived in the Kanto region for sure, like when I was a child, I would have been a water trainer. I would have been Misty, like legitimately.
Yeah.
But I think now, I don't know. There's so many Pokemon now. There's like over 1,000, right?
Yes,
total.
there are.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think it's hard to say, but I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
As we do these, and I will kick that off with my number 5. I think it's my taste might have shifted as I got older.
Sure,
a little bit.
Absolutely. And maybe as we do this podcast and we get more deeper and deeper into Pokemon, than we had ever been before.
Volcarona is a great example from the fire episode. I never would have picked that 3 years ago. I would have been like, "That's an ugly Pokemon. I don't like it." But it's not even ugly. It's really cool. So it's like, I don't know. We'll see. Before I do jump into number 5, just a reminder that this is a top 10 episode. We each go through our top 5.
Yes.
And then we're going to list some honorable mentions after that. So if you haven't listened to a top 10 list of ours before, that's how we tend to do that.
Yep.
And I highly encourage you and would love if you would hop over to Grass and Fire first, so you get spoilers, I guess, because we just talked about our fire types, but so you can hear our top 10s for those, and then come back over to the water Pokemon, hear that. We really love these episodes because they're just fun. They're fun to talk about our favorite things, although Galutrad has instilled a rule that I did not like.
Have, and especially for this episode.
Yeah, he said you are not allowed to do more than 3 honorable mentions moving forward, because the last 2 episodes you've had your own top 12 or whatever. And it's true, I do, and I do tend to dwell on honorable mentions for a longer period of time, but it's just because I have a hard time choosing and narrowing down.
It's hard to pick between your favorites.
Yeah, it feels like I texted him earlier, said it feels like I'm picking between my kids. But yeah, so I'll kick off number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So my number 5 favorite water Pokemon, my least favorite
every time
is Vaporeon.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I guess that makes sense because it's like it's an evolution.
It is an evolution. It was once my favorite evolution. It was my favorite evolution before
Generation
Gen 2 came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. I think my tastes are changing. It was my favorite Pokemon, period.
Before Gen 2?
In the top 151.
Yeah.
My favorite Pokemon was Vaporeon. Yep.
Interesting.
Which is interesting that it's not number 1 on my water list, but it just isn't anymore.
What are you going to do if a new evolution comes out and you end up liking it more than Espeon?
That's a good question. I'm not saying my heart is not open to loving new things, but I can't see it. Espeon, it's when I say Vaporeon was my favorite, it was my favorite for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Espeon's been my favorite since I was
that's
8 years old.
That's true. It was a very limited amount of Pokemon too. So, okay.
And it was just like, it just hit me. And I think it makes sense, right? Because like and that's why I think water is still a top type of mine. I love the ocean. I love sea creatures. I love like fantasy ocean stuff like mermaids. I love pirates. Like all of that is some of my favorite stuff, especially as a child, like Little Mermaid, that kind of thing. And this is basically a mer puppy.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
That's what it is. It's a mer puppy. It's adorable. I still love her. She has a special place in my heart. So she is my number 5. From several Pokedex entries, I have done the thing again. I've brought facts about my Pokemon.
Yeah, I love it. I love sharing the Pokedex entries.
And this is something I didn't know until today. Apparently its cell structure is like similar to or made up of water molecules. So it can basically like dissolve, melt away, and then become like invisible in water, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I remember that's showcased in the Pokemon anime. They just literally make it go invisible, which is cool. It's a neat function
Very
of
cool.
Vaporeon.
The other thing that I noticed, which I laughed at because it kind of goes along with what we were talking about in our Pokemon Were Real episode. Apparently, when its fins start to vibrate, it means that it's going to rain in the next few hours. So it's got a little weather detection going on.
That's interesting.
And then for no reason at all, the most important thing that I can tell you about Vaporeon is that its shiny counterpart is purple.
Which is your favorite
the
color.
End. The end. It's basically Espeon with fins.
Yeah. that's oh my God. Yeah, I've never thought about that before, but yes, it is basically Espeon with fins.
Well, and I don't know if you recall one of the most trying nights of our relationship ever when we were shiny hunting in Let's Go Pikachu.
Yes. Right.
And you were trying to find a shiny Ponyta and I was trying to find shiny Eevee, and the only reason I wanted shiny Eevee was so I could get a shiny Vaporeon because it would basically be Espeon.
Yeah. Yeah, and we never did. And that's like one of the easiest games to shiny hunt in as well.
Yeah, it was really
wild.
It was so, we shiny hunted the equivalent of a day.
Yeah,
like
over
24
days.
Hours worth of time.
Yep.
It was bad.
Neither of us, not even saw the shinies that we wanted. We did not see a shiny.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Yeah, wild.
Yep.
Well, cool.
Yeah. That's my least favorite.
Yeah. I'll never get over that. Your least favorite. Yeah. So my number 5 is, drum roll please, Quaxley.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Quack Pack, if you will. I love this little dude. He single-handedly made me go against, which I normally always choose fire as my starter. I saw him and was like, nope, that's my guy.
Quaxley.
That little duck.
Yep.
I love him. I will say I really am not a fan of his evolutions at all.
Did you? I forget. I know you don't like the final one.
I didn't like Quaxwell either.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
okay.
I don't like any of its evolutions. When we started Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I was like, I'm going to leave this boy as a Quaxley because I didn't know what his final evolutions would be or his middle stage would be, but I was just like, I love Quaxley. I'm not going to risk it. And then it got to a point where Quaxley was like getting one shot a lot because its stats are too low once you get to higher levels. And so I was like, I have to, because I want him to be on my team, but I can't just have him being one shot by any move.
Yeah.
Speaking of stats, so Quaxly is number 912 on the National Pokedex. It is a water-only duckling Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Jackson. You know who you are. For ducks. Obviously, like I said, from Scarlet and Violet, its base stat total is 310, which is good for a level 1 Pokemon. Not good for when you're battling third stage evolutions.
Right.
Quaxly evolves into Quaxwell at level 16, and then Quaquaval at level 36.
Which is a terrible name, by the way.
No, I mean, it's fine. I just love Quaxly. From the Pokedex, Quaxly migrated to Paldea from distant lands long ago. The gel secreted by its feathers repels water and grime. Its strong legs let it easily swim around even in fast-flowing rivers, and it likes to keep things tidy and is prone to overthinking things, so he's an anxiety duck. I didn't know that.
He's cute.
Yeah, he's adorable. I love him. He was probably the first starter for a while that I liked all this. Like, I like Scorbunny a lot and Raboot, which we talked about, but like, I saw Quaxly. Normally when I see the starters, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm going to choose the fire one. I like them. They're all neat. But I saw Quaxly and was just like, I love him.
Honestly, that's kind of how I felt about Sprigatito.
Yeah. Grass Kitty.
Because we both really liked Scorbunny.
For me, it was more like I like him more than the other two enough to pick him, and I also pick fire.
But Sprigatito and Quaxly for us were like, no, we really just like these. Yeah. I think I agree with that. And I actually like, unlike you, I like Masquerada. Like, I like all of the line of Sprigatito.
It's funny because like Fuecoco was on my fire type list.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
Sprigatito was an honorable mention for me on the grass.
Yep. And Sprigatito was an honorable mention for me on the grass type as well. I really like all of the Pokemon, the starter Pokemon from Gen 9.
They were
all
job.
solid.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because the one that I loved the starter evolution for was the one that I don't care for the final evolutions, but I actually do like the final evolution of Fuecoco and Sprigatito.
Yeah, they're really good.
So yeah. That's my number 5. What's your number 4?
Great choice. My number 4 water Pokemon is Swanna.
Swanna? Really?
Yes.
I never in a million years would have guessed Swanna. I probably would have forgotten that Swanna was
even existed.
Existing.
Yeah. No, I love Swanna. It's going to sound weird because it's a Gen 5 Pokemon, right? It's number 581. I think it's a nostalgic choice in the sense that like swans are nostalgic for me because I grew up like reading The Ugly Duckling and The Trumpet of the Swan. You know, I was obsessed, and still kind of am, I guess, because it's great, with the Swan Princess.
Yes, yeah.
So I've always liked swans. I always thought ballerinas were really cool, and like I love watching ballet, and there's the Swan Lake, the whole Swan Lake thing, and Swanna's whole design is based around Swan Lake. Yeah. So it's based on the ballerina costumes. The chest feathers kind of look like the top of the like the dresses that they wear in Swan Lake, and then the 2 headpiece feathers like by its head or look like the feathers that they wear in the ballet as crowns, well. Yeah. And it even Swan even likes to dance. So it actually, a lot of the Pokedex entries, there were so many that I just put several because it was just a lot of them said it. But apparently they begin dancing at dusk.
Interesting.
And the one dancing in the middle of them is the leader. Is the leader of like the pack. Apparently it's like inspiring to like artists in the Pokemon world, like watching them dance, like when they wake up at dawn and they're still dancing is like very majestic and beautiful. But my favorite thing about Swanna is, of course, because it is a swan, of course, it's known for being an elegant Pokemon, but it's also very strong. So the white Pokedex entry says it administers sharp, powerful pecks with its bill. It whips its long neck to deliver forceful, repeated strikes.
Ooh.
And then in black 2 and white 2, and I think in a couple other dexes too, it mentions that they can flap their wings. They can flap their wings strongly. and they can fly for thousands of miles.
Thousands?
At a time.
I would have guessed hundreds, maybe.
Thousands.
Wow.
Yeah. So they look pretty.
I might have to reconsider Swanna.
I really like Swanna. Yeah. I think too, like, it's got the whole theme for some reason with water Pokemon anyway. But like Ducklet, right, is it's cute, right? It's a cute little baby.
It is cute, but it's like the ugly duckling.
It's like the ugly duckling, and then it becomes this beautiful ballet swan. I think that whole like transition into that is pretty compelling anyway, because you look at like Metapod becomes a Butterfree, and like Silcoon becomes Beautifly, and Magikarp becomes a powerful Gyarados. Like there's a lot of that within Pokemon anyway, but it's cool to see it like the ugly duckling becoming the swan, like kind of played out too. So I really enjoy Swanna. I always look for Swanna so I can have it on my team, because the dual type flying and water is helpful. I know they're both. That's obviously resistant to electricity, but I like having...
Yeah, it's 4 times weakness to electricity.
Yeah. I like having dual type Pokemon where I can on my team to get as much representation as possible. So.
Absolutely. Wow. I never would have guessed that, ever. And it very much so, if I not had a list in front of me, Swanna feels like one of those that I would have like completely forgotten about, and so truly never would have guessed. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, neat.
What's your number 4? What's your second least favorite?
My number 4 is, shout out to Pokemon the Movie 2000. It's Slowking.
Oh, Slowking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Slowking is the National Dex number 199. It is a water and psychic type Pokemon known as the Royal Pokemon. Introduced in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, Generation 2. It has a base stat total of 490. It evolves from Slowpoke during a trade if Slowpoke is holding the King's Rock. Really, truthfully, honestly, I like Slowking a lot just because of the movie. Kind of similar in vein to your ugly duckling to beautiful, elegant swan transformation. I love the idea that you have Slowpoke, who is a Slowpoke, a doof, and just ridiculously, like, not known for being intelligent, not known for being fast, not known for having any sort of skills. And then, surprise, surprise, it gets bit on its head by a Shelder and becomes a literal super genius. So much so, from the Pokedex entries, it says it has an incredible intellect and intuition. Every time it yawns, Shelder injects more poison into it, making it more intelligent. It undertakes research every day to solve the mysteries of the world. And I also just love, as we've gone through this, and listeners, as y'all know, I kind of love just like goofy Pokemon.
Yeah.
Goofy kids, goofy mons. So I love that it's like this really regal, very intelligent Pokemon, but it's also wearing like a Shakespeare style like clown thing around its neck. One other thing that I actually didn't know that I learned from the Pokedex is, so like I said, it spends its days trying to solve the mysteries of the world. However, it apparently forgets everything if the Shelder on its head comes off.
Okay.
So it basically, like, and I think this is the only time, I could be wrong, but I think this is the only time that a Pokedex basically talks about how a Pokemon can de-evolve back into a Slowpoke if you remove the other part of the Pokemon.
So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that he's just like a goof that
it kind of makes me uncomfortable.
A genius.
That a Shelder is just on this guy's head.
Yeah, and you know what's really interesting about that to me is that Shelder obviously does not look anything like the version of it on Slowbro's tail or on Slowking's head. But all of the Pokedex entries for those Pokemon absolutely say that it is a Shelder that is doing that. Huh. And I've always wondered what that Pokemon is. If you were to split the Slowpoke part from the evolved Shelder, the Slowking from the evolved Shelder. I say evolved, it's not, but like, why does it change? Why does the Shelder change?
I don't know.
Is it like a fusion thing that it becomes one Pokemon and that's why it's now Slowbro or Slowking? Or is it truly that Slowpoke evolves into those things because of Shelder, but then Shelder
Yeah,
also
because it almost looks like Shelder's like mid-evolution between what Shelder looks like and what Cloyster looks like.
Yeah, it does. And it becomes gray on both of them too.
Oh yeah, it does. I just looked.
Except clearly not, because from the Pokedex entries, but I've always thought that maybe those are like Shelders who have passed away and now are part of Slowpoke evolution. It's an interesting thing that I think should have more research done into it. So let me know if you know anything about the Pokemon lore and know why the Shelder is different.
It's really bizarre.
Yeah. So yeah,
but I think it's not gray on Slowbro, is it?
It is. It's absolutely gray. And it's a different shape too. On Slowking, it's got like these two horn things coming out from the side.
And it looks angy.
And it looks angy on the back of Slowbro's tail. And you can clearly tell that it's got eyes and it's got a mouth and like a teeth and stuff. But that is not the case. And in fact, I mentioned that in our Pokemon Stadium episode, that Slowbro in Pokemon Stadium, the way they animated it when it does a physical move, the reason it does the physical attack move is because the Shelder on its back bites its tail and makes it charge forward. Yeah.
Okay.
So just very interesting.
That's so weird.
It is. And I love it. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Milotic.
No. Yeah.
Does not shock you.
No, especially after the hunts that you have done.
Yeah. I just said it's literally the most majestic Pokemon to ever exist. It's mystical, it's beautiful, it's a water snaky dragon thing. Yeah. I love it. Ever since I saw it playing Ruby, I think is the first time I saw it. I thought it kind of reminded me for some reason of Haku in Spirited Away.
Yeah, I
like
can
his
see that.
dragon form.
It's a serpent style dragon.
Yeah.
So
Haku like has like a peacefulness about him when he's flying, and I don't know, it just kind of has always reminded me a little bit of that. According to several Dex entries, it can soothe and calm negative, angry, or violent emotions, which I thought was really cool. So it kind of has like an emotion manipulation specialty. And it's a truly beautiful Pokemon. Its scales have been described as rainbow colored, and they change depending on the angle and the lighting. I saw a cool take of Milotic being like one side of the coin and Gyarados being the other side of the coin. So like they both transition from a kind of small, ugly fish. But when they do transition, Milotic kind of promotes like peace, and Gyarados kind of promotes like rage and like more power, and whereas Milotic has more calming presence. It almost feels like they're like yin and yang balance, yin and yang balance.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. I've always really liked that take on it too. And then, you mentioned that already, but I had a ton of fun shiny hunting Feebas recently.
Yes,
I was like, I want my dang purple Feebas. I can get my pretty shiny Milotic. Because I like Milotic
across the
period.
board.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Pokemon no matter which version you have.
It's coined the most beautiful Pokemon, I guess, of all time. But yeah, it's very pretty and it's very calming, and I really love Milotic. I really liked catching that in Ruby. Although I was shocked. I think we might have talked about this before. I genuinely thought Love Disc when I was like Pokemon hunting.
Yeah.
I thought Love Disc was going to evolve into Milotic when I saw the two designs, and Feebas is what evolves into Milotic, and it's still weird. It's still a weird thing, but like it makes sense. Like with Ducklet, Swanna, Magikarp, Gyarados, it's a pretty common theme.
It is.
Yeah.
Very much a common, especially among the 2-stage evolution Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's not surprising at all. I love that for you. Also, incredibly big Pokemon, surprisingly big size-wise. Well, cool. My number 3, one could argue also majestic. I will say not majestic. My number 3 is Ludicolo.
Oh, I called it.
You did. You did call it. I love Ludicolo. He is again just a silly guy, just a goober. I also really love the water grass combination. It's just one of those things that like makes sense to me for some reason. Is like, yeah, that would be like a really good Pokemon, I think, to have on your team. So Ludicolo, the carefree Pokemon. Love that. National Dex number 272. It was introduced in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, so Generation 3. Has a base power of 480, which is pretty decent. It's only like, I think 15 points off from Ho-Oh, the legendary Pokemon. So starts as a Lotad at level 14. It evolves into a Lombre, and then you get Ludicolo by giving Lombre a Grass Stone, because Lombre is, I think it is a water and grass type, but I can't remember for sure. Also, talk about like stays consistent in the Pokedex throughout all the generations, because every single Pokedex entry for Ludicolo talks about how it dances as soon as it hears cheerful, festive music, and that cheerful, festive, bright rhythm activates the cells in its body to make it more powerful. And that's like every single one.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like for some reason, a lot of the ones I was looking at had a lot of entries that were the same. I cannot think of Ludicolo without thinking of terribly frustrating Mirror B battles in Pokemon Coliseum. Yep. Like I think that's why I don't like it so much.
That makes sense.
Because I've been traumatized by Ludicolo. Because I think he has 4 of them or 2 of them.
He's 2 of them. And
they all of the Pokemon Coliseum are double battles. So they're both doing this the whole time.
Yeah, they're both
They do
dancing.
Rain Dance.
Yep.
It plays this dun 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 dun, dun music the whole time. And I trauma.
Yeah. I have told, I get that. I'm trying not bypassing your trauma. I have told this story before about how I was at a gas station and there was a Ludicolo plush from the Detective Pikachu movie as a promo, and it was randomly at this gas station, and the gas station clerk, I was looking at it and messing with it because when you push its hands, it goes, Ludicolo, Ludicolo. And I was just playing with it, like not wanting to buy it at all because I think it's like normally $12 or $14. And she was like, do you want that? And I was like, no, I'm not going to pick it up. And she goes, you can have it, and just gave it to me. I guess because they were just trying to get it out of there. So I was like, I have it, and it's traveled around with me for a long time, and I love it.
She's probably tired of kids coming in and pushing it or something. Because I know, having worked at a Hallmark store
that has
in
any
the
type
past
of noise making thing.
Well, we had for a while we had buttons. You know how you can buy those buttons that you just pushed, and man, the children with the buttons, especially we had a no button that just said no, nope, no, thank you, like no in different ways. Yeah. I was like, get out of the store, child.
Nothing makes a child happier than a noisemaker.
Or going in and clicking every single one of the 40 snowmen that dance or whatever. Yep. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, Ludicolo, also a great Pokemon and just a goofball in Detective Pikachu, the movie too. It's really creepy looking, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's I hate it.
And it will forever be in our home.
Haunt.
So yeah, that is our top 3 right now. We still have number 2 and number 1 to do. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we will get back and tell you about our second most favorite and our most favorite Pokemon.
And then I'll go through my 14 honorable mentions.
And then I have a little, not Pokemon honorable mentions, but something I'm going to start doing now, a move honorable mention.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we'll see you after the break.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See you in a minute.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Did you enjoy your break?
I did. I hope that all the listeners did as well. We're going to get right back into it.
I don't mean to burst your bubble.
Okay, that's fair, I guess.
But we're going to dive right back into it.
Okay. Do you want me to start? Maybe we switch it off, or do you want to go ahead and do your number 2?
Since when do we switch it off?
I just thought it'd be a cool thing to mix it up, go with the flow.
We're not mixing it up. My number 2, my almost favorite Pokemon that hurt my feelings to think about. I had a hard time
picking
choosing
your favorites.
No, I knew my number 1. I had a hard time. I'll explain.
I knew my number 1 too, and if you don't know it, I'm going to be shocked.
Well, my number 2, my almost favorite, didn't make the cut quite, Pokemon for water, is Poliwhirl.
Okay.
The thing I had a hard time with was choosing between Poliwhirl and Politoed.
Oh.
But I ultimately
chose Poliwhirl.
I ultimately decided Poliwhirl because I've liked it ever since I saw it.
Okay.
And I have never been able to get a Politoed on my team.
Yeah.
So I'm not as like attached to Politoed because I've never been able to have a Politoed. I've always just kept my Poliwhirl.
Yeah.
I always get an extra Poliwag so that I can get a Poliwrath, but then I put Poliwrath right back in the computer where he belongs.
Keep Poliwhirl?
And I like Poliwhirl the most.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I don't know what it is about him, but I have always liked frogs and like amphibians and stuff like that. I just think they're really cute. And I like Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Politoed a lot. And I Poliwrath is okay. I just think
he's just like a Poliwhirl that got buffed.
He just got I don't. He's just not as endearing to me. And Politoed is very cute, and I do think I want, if he's available in the next gen, I do think I want to try to get a Politoed. Like I'll trade with you and get him because I do want a Politoed eventually. But Poliwhirl, just special place in my heart. I think I told you this, but I was allowed to get one Pokeball from Burger King when they were doing their Pokeball gold 24 karat plated gold cards.
Yes, yeah.
And my gold card was Poliwhirl.
The coolest Burger King toy, or
so cool. That, and the shout out to Hit Clips. I had a Britney Spears NSYNC hit clip that I loved from, I think that was from McDonald's. But yeah, the 90s was a great era, or early 2000s maybe was a great era. So I got a Poliwhirl and I've just always loved it. But I think what I think is so cute about Poliwhirl is it just is peaceful. Like it's a peaceful kind of avoidance Pokemon. So like Poliwag is the baby, right? Poliwhirl is the mid-gen. Poliwrath is the last gen, or Politoed. But they like Poliwrath specifically, like it just, like you said, it just becomes buff and it becomes angry, and it's just more of like a fighting. It is a fighting Pokemon. It's a fighting, but it's more of like a fighting type Pokemon. Whereas Poliwhirl is still like, oh no, I'm good.
Yeah.
So Poliwhirl he continuously sweats. So he like secretes this like oil on his skin, but like kind of like a frog or like a newt does.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So if something catches him that he's scared of, he can slippery slip away from it. If that doesn't work, his little swirls, they can cause drowsiness.
Yeah, because they look very like hypno-y type.
So he can. Yeah. So if he can't slippery away. If he can't like escape, he's escapist trait. If he can't slip away, he can make you go to sleep and then he can go away. I did learn something really terrifying. It's something I don't really think about that often, except for when we're doing episodes like this and I have to look at Pokedex entries and be faced by the reality of Pokemon World. But Poliwhirl apparently eats bug Pokemon.
Yeah.
That made me sad. So apparently he leaves his pond. He goes and gets his little Caterpie for dens, and then he takes his Caterpie underwater where it's safe for him, and then he eats it.
Yeah. Yeah, Pokemon's wild. I actually have my number 2 as an entry that is kind of weird like that. It
makes me icky. Like it's so cute. Why does it have to eat things? Yeah, so he eats bugs, and like that's what he prefers to be in the water because it's safe for him.
Yeah.
So he does have like strong legs, so he is able, like physically, to be out of the water for a long time and to walk around, but they prefer the water because they feel safer in the water, which I thought was really cute. And it's so funny because Poliwrath is like, let's go. Like, we're going to fight. And Poliwhirl's just like, I'm going to go. Actually, I've got to go swim. But I just think Poliwhirl's really cute. I like his little swirly pattern. I even like that it's, because it's an amphibian. So I like that that's technically his organs that you can see. They're like a froggy. Yeah.
I thought that's what you were going to say when you were talking about something that you found out that kind of grossed you out.
No, I knew that already.
Yeah.
I think froggies are cute. I don't know. And tadpoles, I think they're neat. I think they're really cool. I don't know if you ever grew up and like actually like had tadpoles and turned them in, like in class.
I had frogs. No, we never did tadpoles or anything.
We did tadpoles, and we also did we each got a caterpillar that we it turned into a cocoon and then a butterfly, and then we let our butterflies free at school. So we did. I just remember really liking frogs from that, and reptiles, and I basically like every living thing except for like big hairy spiders. They're not my favorite thing in the world, and bugs in general. I'm very misty coated.
You are very misty coated, which makes sense.
But the frogs, isn't that cute?
Yeah, it's
he an amphibian.
Cute. I also love how just round he is. He's just a round boy.
And that's the other thing too. Like I was thinking about it. Politoed is cute, but like Poliwhirl and Poliwag have such a great aesthetic. Like they have such a good color scheme, and it's very simplistic. And Politoed kind of just goes left field. He's lime green and yellow and pink, and
I always thought it was interesting that like Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath, like growing up, I knew that those are the frog Pokemon, the toad Pokemon, but they don't look anything like toads. Mm-hmm. Poliwag looks the closest, and it's not even really that close.
When you meet Poliwag or Poliwhirl, the Pokedex on the anime tells you it's an amphibian. I think it tells you it's an amphibian Pokemon or something like that. Like I think it clues you into the fact that it's a frog too.
Yeah. But they still look like they still have like
Poliwag totally looks like a tadpole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like he looks the closest. He's a little too round, I think, to real life tadpoles, but maybe there's some that are very round. But they still had like a fantastical look about them. And then Politoed is just a frog with a like little antenna thing on its head.
He's cute.
He is cute, don't get me wrong, but that's why I'm like I get why you would choose Poliwhirl over because he's more interesting in that regard because it's very much is that Politoed is just like a frog. On a battle perspective, Politoed's an excellent rain dance setup Pokemon.
This is kind of a spoiler because I definitely did not pick it, but Time Pole could never. Yeah. And whatever that ugly thing he evolves into is.
Well, it's music based is the thing, so it's.
I don't like them.
Yeah,
the eyebrows are funky, and it like ruins the design of the Pokemon. I don't know what else to say about that. But
that's fair.
Poliwag is the superior tadpole Pokemon.
That's fair. Well, cool. That's a great number 2 pick.
Thanks. What's your number 2? What's your almost made it? So
my almost made it top Pokemon, my number 2 water type Pokemon, is Golisopod. This is the thing. I've never learned how to properly say this thing's name. I'm pretty sure it's Golisopod. I used to always say Goliaspod, but then in doing this, I like actually looked at its name because sometimes when I'm playing the game, I see the name and then I nickname it and I just don't ever see the name again. And so I just I might put an extra letter in there. But yeah,
it evolved. The thing that evolves from Wimpod.
The thing that evolves from Wimpod. Oh. Yeah, Golisopod.
That looks terrifying.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's also a punk. So let me give you the information, and I'll also tell you a little story about the anime that is like another great reason why you should love this thing. So Golisopod is the national dex number 814. It is a bug and water type, which we're talking about your favorite types. My 2 favorite types in the game are, even though Raichu is my favorite Pokemon, my 2 favorite types are bug and steel. And they don't have to be together. I like bug Pokemon and I like steel typed Pokemon.
Really quick. Is this a Gen 8 Pokemon?
It's a Gen 7 Pokemon.
Gen 7 Pokemon?
Yep. So it is Golisopod is the hard scale Pokemon. It is a Gen 7 from Sun and Moon. Base stat of 530. It evolves from Wimpod at level 30. So you have to keep this Wimpod around for a long time as a Wimpod.
Is it kind of like a lot of the other, because is this a water bug Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it kind of like a lot of the other bug Pokemon where it's very weak in its base stage?
Yes.
Okay. So that has to be frustrating, keeping that till 30. Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of like Volcarona's pre-evolution. Larvesta. Yeah, you have to keep Larvesta. Oh, God. That's level 59. Though.
Yeah, no, Larvesta. But you typically find Larvesta pretty late in the game.
Yeah, so you find it like level 30 already. Yeah, totally.
So
but
Wimpod is
early.
The same. Wimpod is much earlier. Yeah. You find it at like level 10, 11.
Where do you find it in Sun and Moon? Do you remember?
I believe it's on the beach at the second island.
Okay.
And I say second island. Technically, I think that is the first island, but it's the second island because the first island is like the starter tutorial island. So it's always been the second island to me.
Okay.
Pokedex entries, and then I'll tell you a huge reason as to why I love this punk. So Pokedex entries, with a flashing slash of its giant sharp claws, it cleaves seawater or even air right into. The shell covering its body is as hard as diamond. This Pokemon will do anything it takes to win. And then similarly to your little fun fact about Poliwhirl, I learned this from the Pokedex entry. They live in sunken ships or holes in the seabed. Not creepy. What is creepy? When Golisopod and Grappaloct, the fighting octopus, battle, the loser becomes the winner's meal.
Ew.
Yeah. So he's a weirdo.
Specifically, like they like to eat each other.
They like to fight each other and eat each other. Yes, Golisopod and Grappaloct.
Gross.
Let me take you to the anime, though, because Golisopod is known for a particular scene in the anime. He is the favorite Pokemon of Guzma, the leader of Team Skull.
Okay.
In a battle that Guzma is having in the anime, he is up against a fire-type Pokemon using Golisopod, who is Bug, which is weak to fire, but is water-type, so therefore negates that weakness, isn't just neutral to fire.
Okay.
Golisopod is the fire-type Pokemon, and I can't remember who it is. It might be Charizard. It might be something. I truthfully don't remember which fire-type Pokemon it is. Golisopod is out in the battle, sees this massive fire-type move coming its way, and instead of taking the hit and continuing to fight, it pieces out, goes back into its Pokeball, Guzma's Pokeball, and forces a send out of Scizor, who is Steel Bug, so quadruple times damage to the fire-type move. And I love that. It's such a funny scene. I will post it on our socials so that if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can see it, and I'll share it with you here in a second.
Oh my gosh.
But it's such a troll. Like, Golisopod sends out his homie to get taken down by a four times effective move.
Did he use Roar or something to try to change it up?
So Bug-type Pokemon have a move called U-Turn that allow them to. Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
And technically in the anime, all it does is just go, nope, and then bounces back. But for like canon game mechanic reasons, you could say that it used U-Turn. So yeah, Golisopod. And again, because bug types are my one of my two favorite types in all of Pokemon, so it's no surprise to me that it's up there. But yeah, I love this dude. He also just looks so cool, and it's cool. It's another one. Which, granted, this happens a lot for bug type Pokemon as well, but it is another example. I cannot believe how many examples we have found in water types of being like a doofus and then becoming this hulking monstrosity or beautiful thing.
Yeah, because Wimpod is like, I didn't even know what Golisopod evolved from. When you said that, I was like, what even is that? But Wimpod it just looks like a shrimp.
It is literally a wimp. I think
like a termite.
I think it is the wimpy Pokemon is what it is classified as. And yeah, it's afraid of you. In the game, it runs away from you actively.
That's a good lesson. Is next generation, if we see a wimpy Pokemon, we want to snatch it up because it might turn into a beast.
Yeah, that's true. You can always count on it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Number one. We're here.
Are we here?
We're here for the number ones.
I'm scared.
Do you want me to go first?
No, I want to go.
Okay, well, let's get to it. What is your number one favorite water type Pokemon?
I feel like people are gonna judge whatever one, but it really is my favorite. My favorite water Pokemon out of all 176 Pokemon is Corsola. Corsola?
Okay.
I love Corsola. It's my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah. And what's funny is it's not been my favorite as long as you might think it's been my favorite, because that's been around a long time. It's generation
been around
2.
A very long time.
But it became my favorite after Soul Silver.
Okay.
It was on my team almost the whole
putting in work
time.
Huh?
So I like it. There is something because Soul Silver was my favorite Pokemon game I think that I've ever played. I got very attached to my team, and it was very satisfying and funny seeing this little pink 1.5 foot tall dude take out these crazy Coral Reef take out these crazy Pokemon with like surf and like big powerful moves. This baby itty bitty baby. No, I love it. So Corsola, couple of things about Corsola. It thrives in warm temperatures and it needs clean water to flourish. According to the Omega Ruby Dex, its branches glitter very beautifully in seven different colors, in fact.
Wow.
And so when they catch the sunlight, it kind of almost has like a prism effect, which kind of reminded me that that's kind of on the same lines as Milotic as far as like it's technical. It's pink. It's a pink Pokemon, but it's technical. Like it shimmers so brightly in sunlight that like it can look different depending on where you're standing. So one of the things I also in recent years that's really tied me back to Corsola and really solidified it being my favorite Pokemon is the first time that I went to Hawaii. I went to the Maui Research Center and I learned a lot about coral reefs and about the importance of restoration of those. And it really solidified for me, like, if I was in the world of Pokemon, I would probably be like an annoying Hermione Granger spew leader for Corsola. I like how she fights for the house elves. I would fight for Corsola because the people in Pokemon don't treat Corsola properly, in my opinion. So like I just said, it needs to be in clean water. It can't live in polluted water. It has to live in warm water. There's like apparently a colony of people that live in like the South Sea in Pokemon, I guess in Johto. They literally live on a community that's built on top of Corsola. Yeah. Which bothers me a lot. Yeah. I don't know how else to say that. I don't know if it's supposed to be a partnership type thing. It feels strange to build a colony literally on top of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. That just seems weird to me. And then the other thing too is apparently from one of the Dex entries, people keep, or it might not have been from a Dex entry, it might have been from a fact, maybe from the anime, but people keep like pieces of the branch, almost like lucky rabbit feet. Really? As like charms, which I thought was, which I don't like that when people do that with like lucky rabbit feet. And like it's fine if you have people have like, I even had those like big fluffy cotton ball type things that look like tails, but they're not actually tails.
No, yeah. A lot of the rabbit feet aren't actually rabbit feet.
Yeah, it's fine if it's not real, but like it just freaks me out if it is. Yeah, I'm not down for this. So I would totally be like a Hermione. I would be like for the promotion of Corsola welfare badges, handing them out. Like we gonna fight for these Corsola because like they're just pure sweet. They babies and they're tiny and they need our help just like the coral reefs do in real world.
Yeah, indeed. What do you think about Galarian Corsola?
I hate it.
Yeah,
can't stand it.
Really?
I think it's fine. So maybe hate's a strong word. I have decided, other than...
I mean, it's a great example of what happens if we don't take care of our...
Yeah, it is. It becomes like a kind of a ghost type Pokemon. I think the only Galarian type or other type that I just loved was Ponyta. Yeah. I think the rest of them can kick rocks, basically. Okay. Not into it. Pure, sweet, original, pink baby Gen 2 Corsola is my number one water Pokemon of all time.
Interesting. I love that. I love that it's like it's got a special place in your heart, not only because it was on your team, but also just because of like what it represents in the real world. That's so cool.
It baby. What's your number one? Do you also have a tiny baby in your number one?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
This should not be a shocker to anybody who knows me.
It's shiny Slowpoke, isn't it?
No, shiny Galarian Slowpoke is actually just psychic type, not water psychic. My number one favorite water type Pokemon is Dewott.
Oh my gosh. Yes, of course it is. I'm so sorry.
So Dewott is the discipline Pokemon, pure water type, national dex number 502. It is an otter, which if you know me, that is more than enough. And you might be thinking to yourself, but what about Buizel? What about Floatzel? Those are weasels.
Those are weasels. Those are
not otters. They look adorable. They're like otter cousins. but they're not otters. Duat is an otter. He's also a samurai. So Duat evolves from Oshawott, who is adorable, but I like Duat more.
You don't have any Duat stuffed animals.
No, because there's not a whole lot of them.
We're missing an opportunity here for another stuffed animal.
I know we are. We're going to fix it. Duat evolves from Oshawott, who is also adorable, but I like Duat more, at level 17. Then evolves into, for some reason, they take a perfect otter Pokemon. And even though we have a seal Pokemon already, several of them, in fact, they take this beautiful otter Pokemon and turn it into a seal Pokemon, Samurott. They keep the samurai form, turn it into a seal, and still has Ott in the name. How many seals do you know that have the word Ott anywhere in them versus the Ott-er? And I will never forgive Pokemon for that. Pokemon, you may send your condolences and your apologies to...
Free Duat plushies, yes.
Yeah, free Duat plushies to Another Pokémon Podcast at gmail.com. Thank you. Duat's strict training is how it learns its flowing double scalp chop technique. It uses scallops as its swords, as its like ninja weapons, as its samurai weapons. How cute is that? The technique actually differs from one Duat to another. So no Duat shares the same technique of how it uses its scallops as swords. And it can even send Masters of the Blade fleeing in fear. Duat's amazing.
I don't know if this helps, but I just looked up Samurott on Bulbapedia. And it says Samurott is a quadrupedal Pokemon resembling a river otter or sea lion.
No, it's not. Sea lion, see? Tell me, no. Nothing, nowhere in it does it look. If it was longer, maybe. If it was longer.
But you can't see his whole head, so maybe he got his little otter ears in there.
No, it's a seal.
Okay.
It's a seal, and I will never forgive you, Pokemon, for turning my adorable little Duat. I think if Duat evolved into an otter-type Pokemon again as its final evolution, it might have overtaken Raichu.
Wow.
Because I love otters that much.
High praise.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is the second middle evolution that you've picked on your top.
Yes, it is.
So I'm sorry about that, too.
Yes, it is.
Are you going to be okay?
No, I'm not. And let me tell you why. Because they had a chance. They had an opportunity to redeem themselves with Pokemon Legends Arceus. Because our 3 picks for Pokemon Legends Arceus, Cyndaquil, who is fine, the ghost type, Typhlosion is cool, whatever. Rowlet, who they decimated, turned a adorable and awesome looking Robin Hood owl into a weird samurai owl thing. And Oshawott, who they basically just changed the color of its fur and armor plating. Never forgive, never forget.
They might kind of be otters.
No, they're not.
They're just not as otterly adorable as Duat.
No. Also, Pokemon, why on earth did you did literally the opposite of the thing that everyone gets mad at you for. You took a quadruped. Normally it's quadruped, biped.
Yeah.
You took 2 biped Pokemons and went, no, all fours.
Put him back down.
Get back down. Become a sea lion. I can't stand it. But I love Duat. Duat's adorable. He's my favorite water type Pokemon. Not my favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is and always will be Raichu.
I have a little Duat, and I don't remember where I got him. I feel like it's from like McDonald's or something when they had Pokemon toys.
Yeah.
But I have a little Duat figurine that's doing this.
Yeah.
And he sits in my bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cute.
Yeah. So I love Duat.
I'm sorry about your loss.
And all of you should be as well, because you could have had one of the greatest water type Pokemons of all time, but instead you got stinky old Samurott.
Hey, Corsola doesn't evolve, so I'm happy as a clam.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Get
They're
it?
probably gonna
Happy
ruin
as a
that
clam.
too.
Get it?
Oh.
Happy as a clam pearl. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, that's our favorite water type
It was
Pokemon.
the angriest top 5 in the world. I'm like, I love Corsola. It's cute. I want to protect the ocean. And you're like, hey, Pokemon, go heck yourself.
So those are our favorite water types.
Yes.
Just to recap.
Number 10 and 9 was Vaporeon and Quaxly. 8 and 7 was Swanna and Slowking. 6 and 5 was Milotic and Ludicolo. 4 and 3 was Poliwhirl and Golisopod. And 2 and 1, not in any particular order, was Corsola and Duat.
But not Samurott.
But not Samurott specifically.
What are your honorable mentions?
Solid list, still no crossover.
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Still no crossover at all.
And you were surprised by
A lot of
Swanna and
yours.
Corsola for me.
Yeah.
And I was surprised
Although now that you...
by Slowking for you, I think.
Yeah. Well, and Golisopod.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. That's our top 10 favorite water type Pokemon, but you do have some honorable mentions.
I do. I'm sure this honorable mention will not shock you given what I told you earlier, but Horsey is an honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love Seadra and Kingdra too, but Horsey is like top tier for me. And it's just because it's cute. I love seahorses. Yeah. It's a precious seahorse, baby. I love it. Staryu and Starmie, I've always really liked them. I really love the Kanto waters.
Yeah, you do.
And if I was allowed to have more than 3, Seal would have been on that list. Like all the Kantos were good to me.
Even like Goldeen and...
I like Goldeen. I'm not a big Sea King fan. It's kind of... I mean, it is powerful. Horn... What is it called? Horn attack?
Either horn attack or horn drill.
KO one hit wonder. Yeah.
Yep.
Awful. But no, I'm not big on those. But yeah. But or tentacle. That's fine. But yeah, Staryu and Starmie, I think I love because of Misty. I just loved seeing her team, and I loved I don't know, I just love they go yeah when they like come out.
They have the coolest. You and I often make fun of Charizard and Horizons that just like roar. But,
sounds like your dog.
Yes, but Staryu, our dog.
Oh yeah. Well, he's your dog when he does that. Yeah.
But Staryu and Starmie having the basically like a weird version of Link's is so cool.
Very manly sounding. Yeah, they're and it's kind of along the same lines Horsey. Like I like Starfish.
Yeah.
So I liked Staryu and Starmie. And then I like the gems in the middle. Like their designs are just really cool.
They're very clean.
Very clean. So they have an awesome evolution line. And then my last honorable mention, which is kind of funny given what I told you earlier, I really, 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 really love, and it was almost my number 5, but I was like, Vaporeon's got to take number 5 because it was my favorite for a long time. Surskit, the little bug, water spider. Love Surskit. My biggest complaint about Surskit is it evolves into a not water bug Pokemon anymore.
Yeah.
Evolves into a bug flying Pokemon.
You know what's interesting? I always get confused and think that Surskit is the one, because I know it evolves into a Pokemon that loses its water type. And I don't know why I think this, but that's the one. We were talking about Larvesta and Volcarona earlier. I always think that Surskit is who becomes Volcarona. And I could not tell you why.
Yeah, especially like the design is like a little blue spider dude.
It makes no sense to think that.
It almost looks like he has an acorn on his head. He's really cute.
Yeah.
No, I love tiny baby water spider Surskit, and I did not even realize, this will kind of probably make you laugh, I didn't even realize Masquerain wasn't a water Pokemon until we were playing. We played Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for a little bit. I did not play Sapphire as much as I played Ruby. I didn't have Surskit in Ruby. It was a version exclusive for Sapphire. So when I saw Surskit, I got super excited, and I was like, okay, perfect. Surskit is going to be my water Pokemon because it's going to cover, because I had picked Trico for my starter. So I was like, Surskit can cover water and flying when it evolves, or water and bug. Like it'll be a water Pokemon.
No.
When Masquerain evolves, it's not water anymore. And I'm like,
I think it's bug poison, right?
It's bug flying.
Bug flying.
It's so dumb.
Some poison moves, though.
There's so many bug Pokemon that fly. Why couldn't you have just left it? Now I'm going to rant at Pokemon. Why couldn't you have just left it bug and water? It was perfect the way it was. I even like the design. It's just not a bug water Pokemon anymore, which makes me sad because I was like, oh, I can finally have a bug Pokemon on my team. I don't ever have bug Pokemon on my team.
I don't know enough about water striders in real life. I wonder if they become a flying bug in their stages of life.
I don't know. I think they're just water striders. I don't think they like cocoon up and do things. But yeah, that made me sad because it's seriously so cute, and it deserved much better than what they were willing to give it.
Yeah.
Revenge for Surskit and Duat. Those are the 3 that came close but just didn't make the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Did you have any honorable mention Pokemon?
I did not have any honorable mention Pokemon.
You didn't have any?
No, yeah, and that's usually the case if you'll remember from past episodes. Like the reason it's worked out that you have so many is because I usually don't have that many, or if I do, it's just like, oh yeah, this one's cool. But for water, it's like there's a lot that I kind of like. I think are pretty cool. But
do you feel the same though? Like even with my narrowed down bigger list, there's the last Pokemon to make my list in terms of generational order was Swanna. So I don't know why, but I gravitate towards Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 the most for water Pokemon, at least.
I think the main reason for me, with a few exceptions, water Pokemon have always been on my team, not because I wanted the water Pokemon on my team, but because up until recently, with the more recent generation games, I was just like, well, gotta have a surf Pokemon, so guess I'll pick this water type Pokemon.
And Corsola was that for me too, because I remember teaching Corsola. I think the only HM water move it could not learn of the 4 was Waterfall.
Yeah.
So I remember teaching it Whirlpool, Surf, and Dive.
Yeah.
And then I think it knew something Healing or something like that. So yeah.
So and the same goes for kind of for flying as well, is that like I usually these last couple games I haven't had a flying type Pokemon
because you haven't had to,
because I haven't needed to.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been nice to just not have to be like, well, I guess I'm going to take those types, not for coverage or not for like interestingness, but just because I need them.
I think it depends on how you think about it, because I think it's nice as far as like it doesn't force you to go into checking those specific boxes. But I think the one thing I miss about Pokemon is like the authenticness of having your team and having to rely on your team to help you get through the world. Like Cut could be learned by almost any Pokemon. Like there was a few that couldn't, obviously, but like that helps you get through like the brambles and like the bigger trees, and like there's just not that naturally occurring transaction type thing anymore. It's very much like game mechanic now. I know the whole point is that it is a game mechanic, but it felt more real as a kid.
Of your Pokemon on your team a purpose, to be on your team. But I think and we can talk about this in a different episode. We might do an episode on like the history of HMs, but I think that what you gain from not having that is that the Pokemon on your team get to be on your team because you like them to be on your team.
And you still have to balance. You still have to find balance in typing so that you can get through different things.
There's a whole style of like challenge Pokemon runs where you go only one type, but it's nice to not have to worry about like having to have a water type Pokemon on my team for those reasons.
I do remember like having Meganium, and poor Meganium knew everything, Flash and Cut and Strength, and it takes away from like its grass moves. So I get that too.
We'll talk about HMs in a future episode.
Yeah.
But speaking of attacks though, so something that I'm going to start doing in these type episodes is talk about just like my favorite or my favorite moves of that type. So for water, I've got 4 of them. There's Scald, which I had hinted at earlier. I do
like Scald. Yeah.
I love Scald because it is a water move that can apply the status effect of Burn, which is, it makes sense, especially when you think about what Scald is. It's scalding hot water. But it's just, that's such a cool, I always found that very interesting that it can do that. There's also, I love this one because this is a newer move and I love it because it's a pun, but it's Vicious Rend, which is an attack that if used before the target, the power of the move is doubled. It's exclusive. The reason you might be like going, I've never heard of that move, is because it is exclusive to Dracovish and Arctovish, which were the fossil Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which there are 4 of. So you might not have gotten those. Vicious Rend is a physical move with 85 power, 100 accuracy, and 10 power points. And like I said, if the attack goes before the target, then the move of the power of the move is doubled. I also really like Flip Turn, which is a physical move, 60 power, 100 accuracy, that allows the user to rush back and switch place with another Pokemon in your team. And then Soak, because Soak changes the target of the attack to water type. And I just think that's really funny.
So Soak.
If you use Soak on a Charizard, it's no longer fire.
It's a water type Pokemon.
It's a water type Pokemon.
Okay. So that would be cool if you were grass, water, or electric water, because then you could damage the Pokemon after you use it, right?
Yeah. I just think it's really cool. But yeah, so those are the attacks of water type attacks that I really like and I like to have on the Pokemon, especially Flip Turn. I'm a sucker for a move that lets you swap out your Pokemon, because then if you know like a super effective move is coming your way, you can swap into a Pokemon while also dealing damage. If they're
taking in sunlight or something, you know you're about to get solar beamed or something. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like that too. And I also, like you said, I really liked Scald. I don't remember which Pokemon I had. I had a Pokemon pretty recently that knew Scald, and I like refused to give it up even when I learned better moves. I think it might have been Sunfisk.
Yeah.
Or something, one of those like cave type water Pokemon.
Yeah. It's a great move.
Yeah, I had, it was either that or what's the slug ones that I like? Gastrodon. It might have been Gastrodon too. But anyway, one of them knew Scald, and I was like, I'm not getting rid of this. I don't care if that is stronger.
Yeah. No, the burn effect, having
helpful.
the attack, halving the attack of the Pokemon that's burned is awesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there we go. Our favorite water type Pokemon. We've now finally finished the original trilogy of types. We will eventually do the other types. I make no promises on if those are going to come this season or maybe next season. Look forward to it, and let us know what your favorite water type Pokemon is. Let us know what your favorite type is. What type of because now that we're done with the initial 3, I kind of feel like it's okay for us to jump around however we want. So let us know what your favorite type is, and maybe we might choose it to do our next ranking of types of Pokemon. And let us know which one of us should be avenged. Should it be Galutrad for Duat, or should it be me for Surskit? Anyways, reach out to us. Like we said at the top of the show, you can reach out to us on any of our socials: X, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. You can reach out to us at Another PKMN Pod, or you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We really, really appreciate them, especially on Apple Podcasts. You have no idea how much those 5-star reviews, preferably written, because we love to hear from you, but even the non-written ones, we love those as well. You have no idea how much that helps get this show out there and builds up our community. You can also check out our website, anotherpokemonpodcast.com, and that Discord is coming. I promise. Our community Discord is coming. I'm working on building it. I just want to make sure that all of the necessary things are set up for it so that it is a safe and family-friendly place to be, and we can all share in our love of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Yep. And Bex, where can they find you if they want to champion your Corsola and Surskit movements? Vendettas. You can find me anywhere on the internet at Rebelody, REBELODY, or on Instagram, I am I_am_Rebelody. Let us know what your top water Pokemon is, and let me know if you think I once again have the superior list to Galutrad or not. It's not a competition. It's a competition. Okay. And Galutrad, where can they find you? Yeah, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Galutrad. That's Galutrad. By the way, if you don't know, that is Galahad from Knights of the Round Table, and Lutra, which is the Latin word for otter, because I love them. Shout out to Duat. Yeah, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Galutrad. I'm finishing up Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and also finishing up Mario and Luigi Brothership. But after that, I have plans to play through Pokemon Sun on stream. So be looking forward to that announcement, and I hope that I see some of y'all there over at twitch.tv/Galutrad. Guess I'll be picking up Moon again, so I can play with you. Yeah. Like a good noodle. Yeah. And then we could probably, once you're done streaming that, we could probably do our review. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that'll be coming here, not soon, but just, in the future. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, we appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Hope you have a wonderful day. Stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. Because it's a water episode. I can say it.
Everybody get out.
Everybody get out.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Get out. Don't look at my drawings anymore, okay?